Get ready, get ready, get ready to enjoy this live concert and DVD taping of Live, Laugh, Love Detroit. This event will shine light on a city that has been viewed by some as dark and desolate, with Detroit being known in the media as the murder capital, also having corruption within its elected officials, and most recently filing for bankruptcy. This event will contribute to the healing and the restoration process for the people of Detroit. A portion of the money that is raised from this event will go to a fund to rebuild Detroit and show the rest of the world that this is still a city full of life, laughter, and love. Helping us with this event is Mr. Steve Harvey. He's an actor, comedian, entertainer, television and radio personality, and an author. He's also one of the original kings of comedy. He has a syndicated radio show that broadcasts right here in the city of Detroit from 6 a.m. in the morning to 10 a.m. in the morning. We believe that his voice will definitely shine bright in the city and help encourage and pull people out to this event. Also, the beautiful voice you hear in the background, Miss Mary J. Blige, will be headlining this show. We believe she also can relate to the situation and the circumstances that Detroit is currently going through and also be an aid in bringing people out. Her herself she was molested at the age of 5 by a family friend. She was abandoned by her father, dropped out of high school, and in spite of all of that, now she's a megastar who has sold over 50 million albums worldwide. Just as she shines currently, we believe Detroit will be able to come back just the same way that she has. This event will be held in the heart of the city of Detroit at Joe Louis Arena, located right off the riverfront. Joe Louis Arena holds a capacity of about 20,000 people. However, once the event is filled with the staging and lights and everything, we'll lose about 2,000 seats, and the capacity will be around 18,000 seats. Now, we're expecting, or we're at least preparing, to only fill about 80% of those seats, which is approximately 15,000. Explain more of that when we get to our budget. The schedule for that day will start as early as 6 and go all the way until the end of the day. As I stated before, Steve Harvey has a syndicated radio show that airs at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that along with the load in will start at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll make sure that Steve Harvey is actually here in the city of Detroit, and he'll broadcast live. Mary J. Blige will come on later on in the show and join him. And once they both leave the show, we'll also have them go over to one of our local radio stations to also do some more promotion for the event. The event schedule goes all the way up into the start of the event. When doors open, Steve Harvey opens, and then Mary J. Blige comes on all the way back to them going to the hotel and getting rest upon their planes leaving at the end of the night. Could not find an actual rider for Steve Harvey, but found someone comparable, which is Mr. Bill Cosby, and basic standard agreement in terms of his billing and advertising and marketing that he requires. Mary J. Blige also has a personal rider that is very comparable. Some things that we can definitely accommodate her with. Some very simple water, towels, humidifiers, nothing real devious at all. Again, things that we can definitely provide within our budget. Speaking of budget, what we have here is a very condensed budget, but it shows what we're expecting in terms of revenues, expenses, and then our net income. As I stated before, we're looking at about filling 80% of the auditorium. If we do 100%, that will be even greater, but we're preparing our budget based upon 80%, which is about 15,000 seats. On an average ticket price of $100, there'll be some more as high as 250 and some less as low as $50 a ticket. If we sell at least 15,000 seats at $100 within our budget, we will have earned, in terms of revenues, 1.5 million. Our total expenses come up to approximately $750,000, which includes what it costs to pay Mary J. Blige, which is around 500,000, and Steve Harvey, which is around 100,000. The cost of the venue, all the equipment, the marketing promotion, as well as the putting out of the DVD, and any miscellaneous things that may come up. That totaling 750,000 in terms of expenses would give us a net income of approximately $750,000 as well. To help offset some of the costs, we're also going to go after some sponsors, looking at Detroit Better Made, which is again home base here in Detroit, as well as Detroit Fago. We're also going to go after some corporate sponsors and personal sponsorships, like a Dan Gilbert, who also has a vested interest in the city of Detroit. Some of the risks that we may encounter, maybe not selling enough tickets, problems with the equipment, and shifts in the schedule. How do we plan to manage those risks? Basically, again, going after those sponsorships, as well as we have an appropriate budget for our advertising and marketing, and we're going to make sure that it's used properly so that we have the tickets necessary to fill that house. Also, we're going to make sure that additional equipment is available and need be. If we need to take money out of our miscellaneous budget, then we'll do so to accommodate any equipment that goes into failure. Lastly, we're going to manage our time appropriately, to make sure that shifts in the schedule do not throw off the schedule and cause a hindrance to the event. Lessons learned. I learned lots. I learned that there's lots of work that's required to pull off an event of this magnitude. Also learned the importance of budgeting and researching artists and venues, to be able to pull off an event of this magnitude. And lastly, I learned that this is something that I really, really enjoy doing, and I'm looking forward to doing something of this magnitude in the very, very near future. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed listening as much as I did putting together this presentation.